Welcome to my channel, where there are interesting and equally sensational stories. Listen to today's story. What the hell do we hang on to and why? What is it about a cheating partner that we just can't let go of? What stops us from moving on? Let's digest this on today's episode of Our Space. Up first, just block them already. A weirdly great feeling. I just saw my ex for what might have possibly been the last time. We were on-off for 6 years. She's a recovering addict, and it was those times she relapsed that we weren't together because she was cheating with people supplying her. Naturally, the lion came with it. She's been clean for 2.5 years, and I thought we were heading toward marriage until she dropped the bomb on me that she didn't want to be together through text. And returned the engagement ring. I got her. Come to find out, she ended things because she started seeing her best friend's cousin, who she was talking to nonstop 3 months prior to her leaving. I'm talking texting all hours of day and night. I only know because he has a wife he supposedly separated from, showing up at my doorstep telling me, and I looked at the phone bill and saw they were constantly messaging and sending pics. She went away with him on a 4-day weekend 2 weeks after we split. She tried blaming me, saying it's because I never did anything with her, but she wouldn't plan anything for us to go do, which I often did. We lived together, but she stuck around here for a couple months after the split for convenience. Once I found out the extent of her lying, I kicked her out. In those couple of months, she was screwing me and that other guy, often saying, she can't come back to me. Once she was gone, we met up a couple weeks later to go to a show where she was all over me, and we had sex again, which was very confusing. After that, I figured it was best to implement no contact. She still had a set of my car and apartment keys, and she wasn't making any effort to reach out about giving them back. We met for me to get them back, and I didn't feel how I used to. I had time to process everything without her around and didn't feel that rush I used to have whenever I saw her. Even when I asked her why she still wears a different ring, I got her. Afterwards, she texted saying she was truly sorry for what she's done but there's no chance of reconciliation, which I told her that I don't accept her apology because she made the conscious choice to cheat and lie. I didn't think there was a chance of reconciling, but I wish her the best. If I hadn't taken the time to separate myself from her and work on myself and my mental state, who knows what kind of a toxicity that could have led to. It was easy to get bogged down in the lost investments, emotional and financial, but ultimately doesn't lead anywhere. I was able to find my self-worth and understand that if you love someone, you don't treat them like a toy you throw away when it no longer satisfies you. After hugging her goodbye, I felt almost nothing. Yes, she's a woman I loved and still do, but I know what I bring to the table, and it's her loss. For everyone trying your best, that's all you can do. Know that you are worth it. Take the time you need to process your feelings and the situation, and don't get bogged down on things you can't change. Let's get one quick thought from the community. Bell17 says, good for you for moving on. Really be strict with the no contact. Stay strong. Good luck. It's interesting that you continue to see her and be with her physically even after you found out about the cheating and the lying op. Imagine it would be hard to get over anybody if you didn't create clear and concrete boundaries, but I'm glad you moved on from that in the end. You don't need to hold on to people like that in your life. Especially people who don't respect you and have no intention of working out things with you. She used you for sex and was never interested in reconciliation. I'm not sure she was sorry. I don't know if people who can string others along like that actually are. Update. Finding recovery through music. As the title says, I've recently been listening to a lot of the same songs to help cope with my ex cheating and leaving even months later. The songs I mostly had on repeat are alt-rock screamo. Give them a listen and see if they help you as well. My favorite part about these is that they aren't typical FU songs, but rather coming from a place of self-realization and understanding. They acknowledge the relationship and that the person isn't good for you. They no longer have control and you're moving on. Our promise losing you. Fave line, everything's changing, but this pain keeps aching somehow. Probably will be my most played song of the year. It's such beautifully written song about struggling to let that person go. They were such a huge part of your life, but you're taking the higher road. There was hurt in both parties and the singer is apologizing for hurting them. The singer is still hurting, but knows it will go away. One day, these words will mean nothing. Like the years, they're gonna die. Will I sincerely try to get them off my mind? Number 2. Dance Gavin Dance. Nothing shameful. Favorite line? So take me for granted. I know I never really meant that much to you. Basically about the control the nurses this has over you, which almost all cheaters are. The title comes from a medical dependency to you. There's nothing shameful that I wouldn't do, which a lot of us feel. We sometimes feel that urge to try something desperate to please them or change their mind when their mind has been made up all along. Yet they know the sway they have over you. It's not until the middle of the song that it's realized the person is toxic, and the only way out is forward. Number 3. 624 Survive, said the prophet. Favorite line? I know you've done this before and you've shrugged like you live and learn. The way I interpret the chorus is if they did the same thing to you, the cheater wouldn't be that upset. This wouldn't be a problem you would try about. The relationship happened, ended poorly, and because of that, you and me can't be the same we used to be. It all helps all the vocalists have amazing voices. When I'm in a spot like now, to where I feel so many different ways about my cheating ex and want to send her something, mostly do disrupt what she has with her new idiot. So songs like these help keep me in check. The community has some thoughts. Afibiz says, "Try Don't Shed a Tear" by Paul Carrack. Got me through a breakup. Me, Lucifer 666 says Memphis may fire the deceived. The Interrupters gave you everything. Parkway Drive. Romance is Dead. Redbeard GR says Pink Floyd, The Wall. The entire album. Old Scouter has one more, Wasted Time, but the Eagles. Music is actually super therapeutic. I think music is a great way to really cope and deal with things. Songs and poetry are beautiful because they can hit people differently. As in, people can interpret the words in a way that's unique to them. I'm glad you're able to turn to music, Op. I'm glad that we have music and poetry in times like these. We've got another update. Seems like the ex is seeking validation. Needs support. If you want to know the full story, check my previous post. Too long didn't read. My ex was cheating on me for months, ended things, but we continued to live together a few months after. During that time, she was still screwing me and that other idiot. Last time we had sex was the middle of August. My dog got sick and she watched him for me on 14th of October. She was drooling over my fit new bod, and had to do everything in her power not to jump my bones while also flirting with me and doing whiffy crap around my place. And even wearing my sweater, because she got cold. She even continued to text me randomly after. Today, I reactivated my Facebook after 5 years because I wanted to reminisce because I've been dreaming of her a lot lately. She came up right away. She got locked out of her old Facebook, and her new Facebook profile photo is of her and her new dummy that she posted on October 18th. The picture was taken from the trip they took, not even 2 weeks after she ended things with me. In the comments, someone asks, "Who's that?" To which she replied, "That's X," with no other explanation. I'm feeling very conflicted because obviously it hurts. But at the same time, I have to remind myself she has no respect for me or the years we spent together. She doesn't even look that happy in the picture. The relationship came out of both them cheating and lying, which I told her in my goodbye letter. You were both dishonest to your partners when you started. So why would either of you be honest to one another? I highly doubt he knows the extent of what we've done while they were together. This is why I try and tell myself and others that cheaters post their new partners because they need outside validation. They may not be truly happy, but it's convenient, and if others chime in, they will try to do the mental gymnastics to convince themselves. Eventually, the facade will crumble and have to face reality and red flags they may have ignored or brushed off. In the end, I know I'm better off. But obviously it sucks to lose to someone who is a garbage human being and less of a man. Edit. And she still hasn't updated her address after I axed her at the end of October. More community reactions coming your way. Administrative ad 3880 says, "My advice: block her everywhere." Is she happy? Is she not happy? Who cares? She's a cheater and thus an unsuitable partner. You haven't truly moved on until you are ambivalent about her. It takes time. Dreams happen. My ex still occasionally invades my dreams 4 years on, and I don't give it any further thought. Redundant pundit chimes in. You lost a garbage girlfriend to a garbage man. No big loss. And in fact, he did you a service and move on and recover by focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, so you'll be ready when a good faithful woman comes into your life. Good luck. Yeah. I think you're totally right, and I don't think you should waste any more time thinking about her or what used to be. Anybody who posts too much of their life on social media is lying to themselves and everyone else. Social media is so fake. People only post the good things, and never the bad. But oftentimes, the good things aren't even that good. People may be smiling the photos, but they're often dead inside. Update. Ex hit me up for a favor. I had ordered through the grapevine that my ex is a fair partner who she's still with caused a flat in her car and let it sit there for days. I told the person who informed me, give it a couple of days. She will hit me up. Sure enough, she did. Wanting me to call the shop to see what size her tires are. I responded, sure, if we were still together, but have your man do it. I'm sure he's fully capable. Which, of course, she left on read. I felt bad because those petty responses usually aren't my thing. Later, I let her know she can't be hitting me up for favors. Especially when we don't do stuff. She lost that privilege when she cheated and left. Again, left me on read. Apparently, it sat there for 2 weeks on a flat. For those out there still struggling, know you will get to a point that you can and will say no and keep your boundaries intact. Don't let them suck you in on something dumb. I should have just ignored the first text, but of course, there's always that part that wants to say anything. A few more community reactions. Diode student says, no. Can you please stop saying that if he responded he was being petty? No. If you wanted to say F off, say it. If you wanted to laugh in her face, do it. If you wanted to say, have your man do it, like he said, say it. If you don't want to say anything, don't. This whole I'm gonna take the high road is such crap BS. Especially if someone violates your trust and then goes on to have the balls to ask you for a favor. That's them continuing to show you they don't respect you as a human being. As long as it doesn't hinder your mental health or healing, F 'em. Petty is the exact response needed. NWTGM 1384 has a thought. Well, I do agree no response would have probably been best. It also depends on the X type you are dealing with too. I had one. You had to draw the line. And even doing that, he tried multiple times to be relevant, including a few months ago, tried to friend me on Facebook. It's not that you have any emotions towards them, but meh. But you have to draw lines, told them in umpteen different ways leave you alone or show them to leave you alone. They will not. Hopefully, she got the message. Abel 421 says I had an ex leave his son, not mine, and me for a teenage girl. He told us she was his soulmate. I had no legal rights to his son, so he had to go back living with his crazy mom that he was taken from to begin with. It was horrible. His soulmate only put up with him for about 4 months, but he couldn't get his parental rights back. Years later, after I met my husband, this MF has the balls email me and ask if I will testify on his behalf in court, that he is a good dad. After I told him exactly what I thought about him and his parenting, he never asked me for a favor again. Fensilmic Prush has one quick thought. Later I let her know, dude, block this person already. What are you doing? Yeah, I hope you need to block her. Get her out of your life. What are you banging on to? Let her go, let the past go. Any other thoughts? Next up, you're never not enough. The affair partner is pregnant. Hi again to the club. No one wants to be in this is the gift that keeps on giving. For those who don't know my story, ex-fiancé ran off into the sunset with his married secretary, whom he had known for a total of 3 months. We were together for 7 years. They each got kicked out of their homes. I told her husband and moved in with each other immediately. I went no contact once all this stuff was out. Unfortunately, things have a way of getting back to me. This weekend, I was out with a group of friends and a coworker I hadn't seen in a couple years asked me what happened between me and ex-fiancé. He and his affair partner posted a pregnancy announcement on Facebook. From the sound of it, she got pregnant almost immediately. It's a bold move to post a pregnancy announcement when you're still married to another man. I told him I didn't want to talk about it, but the cat was already out of the bag. It was a punch to the gut. I didn't sleep that entire night, and I'm still in shock by the whole thing. I know this is not my business or whatever, but it's still upsetting to hear. My ex and I had talked about starting our own family. One of the things he told me when he was drunkenly telling me he was leaving me for her was that he was going to marry her and put a baby in her. And I guess, well, he is. It feels like she gets to live the life I had been planning for over the last 7 years. And yes, the logical side of me knows this will be a disaster. He has a drinking problem and cannot handle stress at all. She's navigating her divorce. Apparently she filed just before the announcement while being pregnant to a man she, at the time, knew less than 6 months. I know this is impression management to legitimize their actions. I'm sure it's not all sunshine and rainbows behind closed doors, but it still feels so crummy, crap sandwich. Is it possible he changed for her? For the baby, why wasn't I enough? Why makes her so special? These are the thoughts I fight against. People like this don't get character transplants, even though I hope he gets help for the sake of his child. A couple quick thoughts from the community. Push80 says nothing throws a bucket of water on a hot steamy affair like a perennial tear from birthing. 6+ weeks of no sex, crap diapers, tons of all-night crying, and a child latched on your nipples for 4+ hours a day. Pop up your popcorn and get ready to watch this bird fall from the sky. Meows a lot has a quick thought. Hope the baby keeps them up all night. Less into that logical voice inside you. Aren't planning to be with an alcoholic for the rest of your life. Pretty sure no one dreams of growing up to make that a reality. Why would you want that life for yourself? And why would you be jealous of that? You said it yourself. They were both kicked out of their own homes and had nothing. I sure as hell wouldn't want nothing like that. You were more than enough op. He couldn't handle it. What do you think? Could OPs exchange? Tell up why she shouldn't give this man any more energy in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on our space. Like, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate to dream us out. Oh, if you want to listen to me and more stories, check out our lounge where I feature a larger variety of non-cheating related stories. See you there.